So I thought I'd make a video on the Dyson DC75, which was the Kinetic Big Ball Vacuum. I've had this for around 7 years and I haven't really had any complaints about it until recently, when I was shocked to learn that despite them advertising it as no filters to maintain, and luckily I still had the box to check, they actually have 2 filters that you need to replace. So these vacuums were an exciting prospect when they first came out. The idea of not having to get your hands so mucky every so often when you clean the filter was something that was so convenient at the time. But now I know that it does in fact have running costs too. Maintenance of the machine involving replacing the filters. I know right now it's discontinued in the UK, but I think it's still being produced around the world, so I thought I should probably make this video. Now, I want to reiterate that I have owned this for 7 years and it's actually given me some good mileage. The suction is still strong and it still works for, tasks around the house. I do remember a few years ago doing a quick search of this machine and reading lots of comments saying how it's impossible to have a filterless machine and that, Dyson were lying. But it's only when I started to feel sick around the same time each month of doing a heavy clean around the house with this Hoover that I started to question, maybe there is something to this. And at the same time, I bought some HEPA air purifiers and they said in the instructions that you should replace the HEPA filters every so often. So I thought, oh, well, I've had this one quite, a long time, so maybe it does need replacing. I know this machine is marketed as full machine HEPA filtration with whole machine HEPA filtration, no other vacuum expels cleaner air. So I just needed to make sure if these claims I was seeing online were true. So I paid a visit to their website to see if there actually was post filters, because obviously why would there be a filter if it's filterless, right? And there you go, online it actually has a post filter for sale. But I thought just in case I'd try and seek some extra confirmation. So I emailed Dyson and even they said yes, there are filters that you should replace yearly, which again is a shock because it kind of contradicts the original promise of the machine. On top of that, the filter for the filterless machine wasn't sold as a double pack, so you need to buy them individually, which over here works out to £37.50 each. So you're looking at £75 to replace these filters yearly, according to Dyson. As my machine was still working well, I decided to get a replacement and maintain the machine at least until it's broken. So the purpose of these filters, which are called post-motor filters, but another name for them is HEPA, they are to catch all of these really small particles that get expelled from the machine. So things like dust, dust mites, pollen, viruses, bacteria, from the canister as it expels it out back into your home. And basically all of the things that you wouldn't want to leave the machine after it sucks up from the floor. It catches all of these as they leave, so you get cleaner air being expelled, which is anyone who suffers from allergies, it will benefit. So obviously after you've hoovered your house, you've gone up down the stairs and you see the canister filling up with horrible dust, you know that the things that are too small, like get expelled with the air, will then get caught on the way out, and so you don't have to worry about it re-entering your home and then you having to breathe that all in. Obviously what we don't think about is when we're hoovering all of our carpets, our surfaces, our floors, that there's embedded dirt, bacteria, and obviously when you're hoovering back and forth, it's aggravating all of these things and kind of bringing them back up into the surface, kind of pushing them back into the air. So you wouldn't want that when it goes into your hoover to come back and kind of be in your immediate environment again for you to potentially get sick. Normally with some machines you would replace the filter every few months, but I assume with hoovers, as they're not on 24/7, that's why you have a slightly longer lifespan. But I would expect, because of the heavy workload and what they suck up, that they get a bit more of that concentrated kind of dirt coming into the system. So I can understand why you would have to replace it every so often. I guess the main thing that was a shock is having to actually purchase filters for what was supposedly a machine that filters, to knowing that, oh no, wait, you actually do need to replace the filters. So I think because of this, I think maybe my next hoover might be a bagged hoover, especially because you get slightly worried of if you have allergies, how that would affect you if it is blowing out dirty air. And I know from what I've read, bagged hoovers have less chance of expelling that kind of bad dirt and dust and pollen back into your face. So I think I'll definitely try that out next. I mean, you know, I love the appeal of the bagless hoovers because obviously as the canister fills up, you do get that kind of visual of, oh, this is the dirt that I've just hoovered, so it automatically makes you feel like the house is cleaner. But obviously with a bagged hoover, you would know you're still hoovering things up as the bag would fill up. So we'll see how these new filters fare, but I'm sure it was a good decision regardless to replace them, especially as I'll still use it until it, you know, the hoover breaks. Hopefully this video will find people who are now discovering that their Dyson Kinetic
filterless
hoovers actually do have a filter and don't really know what to do about it. I'll put another video up of how I change the filter so you can get a closer look, but please, if you've had these hoovers for a while, I do suggest either replacing the filters to maximize performance or switching out for another one. Now, I really need to go clean after putting it off for so long, so hopefully these filters will do their job.